Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good night. Morning. Anybody up for some breakfast?
First of all, congratulations on the win. Great fight. Talk to us about the emotions of actually having that belt in front of you, winning the world title and becoming champion.
Wow. I mean, let's just talk about the emotions I felt when we started hearing one judge, and now I go, oh, shit. Because I honestly thought I did enough until but it was a close fight, I'd make no mistake. But I thought I had it. And then when that split decision came, I just went, okay, this is 100% 50-50. And when they said and knew, it felt like 15 years of work, of dreaming, of sacrificing, of everything came together in one single sentence. It's incredible. It feels surreal. It's amazing.
The fight itself, right, it was very close. You know, some people are going to have it for him, some are going to have it for you. You are satisfied with your performance and you do feel like you did enough to win the fight?
Yeah, I thought I did enough to win the fight. It was definitely a close fight. I definitely gave him the first round, and I made the necessary adjustments to, in the fifth round, I didn't give him the round. I thought at the end, I don't know how they scored it, to be honest. Listen, it was a close fight. I'm not going to lie. It was one of those fights where there wasn't even time to really think of what is happening. But I do believe with the takedowns that I got, it was very back and forth with the striking, one for him, one for me. And I tried to stay ahead with the takedowns. By round 4 and 5, he did a good job of defending those, but obviously my takedowns got a bit sloppy. And he started, reading them. But those takedowns weren't really for getting a takedown. They were more to disrupt his game plan. But at the end of the day, I went toe-to-toe with the, self-proclaimed, and some people think, best boxer in the UFC.
Yeah, I want to talk about his boxing, right? Everyone knows that he's a good boxer, but when you're in there and you're dealing with that jab, especially in the earlier part of the fight, are you thinking to yourself, oh, yeah, he is as good as they say?
Yeah, no, listen, he is good. He's definitely good. He caught me in the first round with the jab, and then I realized I can't let him get away with that jab because my game plan was obviously first 2 rounds, our plan was 100% to fight his fight, not to go out and fight the way that I fight. You'll see how the fight changed from the 3rd round. I went more to my style, but that was our game plan. For the first 2 rounds, he jabs, I jab, 1-2s, nothing serious. And then from round number 3, we start turning it up. And obviously, I had a lot of people to prove wrong with my gas tank, and I believe I did that tonight.
You called for Israel after the fight. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about how the result of this fight might have effects on UFC 300. I mean, I can see your face. You're wearing a little bit of damage. Do you think you could turn around that quick? And if not, is Israel still the guy that you'd like to fight?
A little bit of damage. Do you remember how handsome I was before this fight? I look like a cauliflower now. But, I mean, I'm pretty banged up right now. I don't feel like... Listen, I'm up for another round if they want to go right now. But... yeah, I don't want to put a timeline on it, but UFC 300 sounds amazing.
And just to be, for the last one, Israel Adesanya is the guy you want, right? There's still some personal issues there that you'd like to resolve, and you think that sort of fight is the one that's perfect for your first title defense?
Oh, no, it's nothing personal. It's not personal at all. That's just the fight the fans want to see. I want to fight the best competition. There's a lot of guys that are going to be fighting, but the fans want to see Israel Adesanya versus Drikus plessis. There's a lot of hype that was already built on it. If the fans go, if there's some way they start tracking and saying, listen, the fans don't really want to see Adesanya versus du Plessis, we don't do that fight. It's fine to me. I don't care who it is. But that's just a fight on top of my head that I think the people want to see, and that's going to, get a lot of people excited.
Drikus right here. Sean just tweeted saying that he was referencing a headbutt in the fight, made it difficult to see, but he did give you congratulations and props on the fight. Did you notice any headbutt in there from either you or him?
No. I can't say that I can't say that I did. It's the first I'm hearing of it. No, I didn't feel a headbutt. Did he say I headbutted him?
He said, this is him saying, he said, well, fuck, man, that headbutt really made it difficult to see, but I thought we got it. I thought we got the job done. On to the next one.
No, I can't remember any headbutt.
Dana was in here, and when we asked him about, South African champion bringing the UFC to South Africa, he said absolutely. He seemed pretty adamant about it. So are you going to kind of get in his ear now that you have the belt, like it's now or never, essentially?
Yeah, it's going to be now for a long time, but yeah, I think it's time. I think we've worked our asses off to get this event to Africa and South Africa, and it's time that happens. Just so for the record, is there some people that think I lost the fight? Dana said it? Well, bullshit.
Kind of going off of the South Africa talk, what went through your mind when you saw the crowd? They showed it in the arena on the big screen, the fans in South Africa watching your fight and cheering when you got the belt.
Yeah, that was that was absolutely incredible. There's one thing about South Africa that I think if the UFC goes there, the whole world is going to see. You have never felt the vibe when it comes to sport like South Africa.
And last one for me, what do you want your title reign to be? Because lately we see these champions, they get one or two defenses and then they start talking about going up. The middleweight division right now is pretty wide open with contenders that haven't fought for the belt or fought you. Do you want to, go after these title defense records? Do you want double champ status? What do you ultimately want your reign to be?
Yeah, listen, I want to do what is expected, because do I want double champ status? Absolutely. But I'm willing to earn that. If there's contenders that make sense, I don't want to fight contenders that doesn't make sense. Fighting Israel Adesanya makes sense. Fighting guys that deserve the title shots makes sense. But I don't want to just fight somebody because I don't want to be Israel Adesanya that fought Sean Strickland. Yeah, Strickland won that fight, but they should have never fought, in my opinion.
When you say contenders that don't make sense, do you mean fighters like Hamzat who maybe haven't fought a middleweight ranks? Because he's also tweeting like "see you soon" and referencing UFC 300.
Yeah, but he said that to John Jones. So, I mean, who takes that guy seriously anyway?
Drikus over here. Beyond the facial injuries, are there any other injuries you're dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, the body feels pretty banged up right now, but I can't say for sure how severe these injuries are.
You were having a lot of success with the kicks throughout the fight. Was that something that you saw going into this that would be a key part of your strategy, or was that something that just became available throughout the fight and you saw the success and kept with it?
Yeah, no, this is something we worked, we saw in all of his fights. He's really good at evading these kicks. We saw with Israel Adesanya, he wasn't very successful with his kicks because of Sean's defense. I got a few good head kicks in. I got a few good low kicks in. It was just the timing that we had figured out a little bit better than Izzy did in that fight. But yeah, anytime you're going to fight a guy with a strong and good jab, I thought, my coaches, Coach Manofa, so he's obviously a genius when it comes to these things. We looked at the fight and said, that's how we're going to take care of a jab. And those kicks did start to hurt him by round number 3. 100%, and his jab became a lot lighter in that third round, definitely.
You also answered a lot of questions going into the fourth and fifth rounds for the first time in your career. Can you just tell us, especially that going into the fifth round, sort of what your corner is telling you, and mentally, are you just on autopilot at that point? Like, take us through your emotions just preparing for those final 5 minutes.
No, not at all. I mean, I went into the fifth round and I said to my coach, wow, can you believe it? I guess I have a gas tank. And he said, this is the last 15 minutes of your life. And I said, damn straight. And, we basically, I was happy to be there in that fifth round. It wasn't autopilot at all. It was, damn, I feel great for a fifth round. When we went to the fourth round, I felt, damn, I'm going to prove a lot of people wrong tonight.
Drikus right here. At what point in the fight do you think you kind of had Sean's game plan and what he brought to the fight figured out? It seemed like in the first round he was kind of establishing the jab and whatnot, but the commentary mentioned that by round, maybe the end of the second, you really started to get a bit closer to him and started landing more punches, and that continued for the rest of the fight. Where do you sort of think you figured him out?
Yeah, exactly that. I think the first 2 rounds we spent, and that was our plan, to fight his fight, to see where it is. Obviously, keep him on the back foot. It's a lot easier said than done to keep him on the back foot because he comes forward. And he has a very strong, how can I say, his march. He doesn't storm forward, but he has a strong march. The way he moves, it makes it hard to push him backwards. But I just kept on putting the pressure on Sean. Every time he jabbed, moving forward. Yeah, I took a couple of punches more than I would have liked, but keeping him, every time he hits, I move forward. And, even him being the cardio machine that he is by the third round, you can't keep on fighting with that kind of pressure. He got tired. And that's where I really started landing more and more.
I think it was in rounds 2 or 3 when your eye started really swelling up. Obviously, I think you can see out of it, but was there any visibility issues, and was there a concern in the corner that it could get worse?
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the cut man on that. He hit me with a jab in the first. I didn't feel it really. I could feel he got me, and all of a sudden I just felt this thing in my eye, but it didn't hurt. And his corner screamed and said, "He's already bleeding." And I thought, shit, am I really bleeding? And then in the second, he caught me on this eye again, I think. And all of a sudden, this eye went completely shut. Like I couldn't see, and I was like, come on. One eye. And that was the first time for me in a fight where my eye was completely shut for a while. I couldn't see. And then I went back to the corner. They put the ice thing on it. And the swelling went down immediately. So kudos to the cut man. It helped a lot. And then I cut him. We spoke about it in the doctor's rooms. And I caught him with a big punch, and his eye started bleeding. And I looked at the blood flowing, and I said, I hope that goes into his eyes. And he said, and I look at him, and I'm like, that has to be in your eyes. Come on. And he went like this. And I said, gotcha. And he tried not to. He said he tried not to wipe, so I can't see it's in his eyes. But then he started wiping, and I was like, yeah, well, now we're level. And I started, so I mean, but all in all, I mean, Sean Strickland's an absolute warrior, and world respect for him.
What's the biggest improvement you think you've made over the past 13 or so months? And the reason I say 13 is that dates back to your fight with Darren Till. And that was a tough back-and-forth fight. You got the win, but it was not an easy one. And now you're knocking out Robert Whittaker. You're beating Sean Strickland for the title. What changed?
Yeah, nothing changed. I just got my ring time. I just got my octagon time and settled. Found a home in the UFC. Like I said, that's what I need. Found a home. We had some problems in terms of the conditioning, which we fixed. I feel incredible. I think it's just about finding your feet in that octagon and accepting and believing that you're one of the best in the world.
I know you would have liked an early finish in the fight. Obviously, you don't get paid by the hour, but were you kind of happy as well to go the distance to kind of silence some of those critics that were saying cardio was going to be an issue in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big plus point for the fact that we went 5 rounds, is the fact that I could, hopefully my cardio is the discussion of the past. If not, keep on doubting. I don't care. At your own demise, of course. But, if I'm going to do a decision like with the Brad Tavares fight, I said, if I have to go to a decision and I have to do it this way, any day of the week. I mean, I haven't watched the fight, but we got fight of the night, and it sounded like it was a banger. And in that case, I'm more than happy to go to the distance.
How big of a boost was it? Your teammate won last night at Unified. And that story in itself was kind of crazy with him coming to Toronto with you, getting the phone call, getting the fight, and getting a pretty big win there. How much did that kind of give you a little bit boost going into to the title fight tonight? Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for Marky Mark. Mark Hume, I honestly think he's the next guy to come in. He didn't get a finish last night, but, it was a 10-day notice fight for him. And he did what he had to win that fight. So I'm really happy for him, and hopefully he gets opportunity soon. And, to be here representing my team, Team Shite in Pretoria, so many people are looking up to me and going, if he's there, I train with him, I can do that. And that means the world to me. And just last one from me. The crowd was chanting DDP. I know earlier in the week, they're kind of pro-Strickland, but how was your overall experience in Toronto? It really seemed like you won the fans over with that performance tonight.
Yeah, I love Toronto. I have to say, it's amazing. I'm staying a couple of days extra. But, yeah, I mean, Toronto, this whole week I said, they might not be fans of me, but I kind of like it here.
Drikus right up front here. Just to sort of follow up on that question, could you sense during the fight that the support was changing a little? Because I could tell you, it seemed very pro Strickland at first, and was till the end as well. But then your cheering section got super loud. Could you sense that while you were fighting?
Yeah, no, I heard it when they started DDP. And I was like, oh man, these guys ain't loyal.
If the UFC were to go to South Africa, would it have to be Johannesburg or Cape Town? Is there another city I'm just neglecting to mention? Would have to go to those?
No, yeah, well, it'd probably be Pretoria, Johannesburg, Cape Town, one of those. But I mean, there's a lot of great places the UFC can go in South Africa.
And there's been a lot of great athletes to come out of your country. Where do you feel this ranks you among the best athletes that South Africa has ever produced?
That's a very, very hard question. Right now, one of the best, and like I plan on being, I want to be known as the greatest ever.
Drikus, right here. I know you had mentioned a little bit ago maybe the possibility of the future of being a double champion. That's an aspiration and a goal. The light heavyweight champion, Alex Pereira, was in Sean's corner tonight, and that news seemed to come out like a couple hours before the fight. Did you notice him there when you, I guess, were waiting for Sean to come out? And what did you think of Alex cornering Sean tonight?
No. I didn't notice him at all until I saw him in the cage after the fight. And, yeah, well, whatever.
Are you a little surprised that he would jump in there and do that?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, take all the help you can get, man.
Thank you.
Drikus, just looking back quickly on sort of how you got here. How cool is it? It's a bit niche, but is it cool to be the only fighter who's ever won titles in EFC, KSW, and now the UFC?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. To go out and say every single organization I've ever fought in, I've been a champion. That's great. I mean, it shows consistency over a whole career. It shows consistency over my career since the age of 19. I've always had the aspiration, no matter where I am, no matter where I fight, to be the best.
Keith Whittier, Ottawa Life Magazine. Congratulations on the win and realizing your dream. What is the next week going to look like for you in terms of like the celebration?
Jeez, I don't know. I'll probably go. Yeah, I'm going to drink a lot of beer. That's about it. That's how much I can answer you. It's going to be. I'm going to be in Canada and enjoy the food scene. Definitely eat a lot. Enjoy the Super Bowl Sunday. Or is it now? It's Sunday's tomorrow, right?
Like 3 weeks.
No. But I mean, it's the playoffs now, right? Yeah, that thing. We don't have a football in South Africa, so. But I know when they play, it's amazing. The vibe is awesome, and well, basically any situation where I can drink beer, it's going to be great. So there's going to be a party. And the food scene in Toronto looks amazing, so I'm going to test that out. And then we're going to South Africa, and then the real party starts.
Nice. And a very touching moment in the octagon after with your family. I was wondering if you could touch on that, because you spoke about bringing about 100 or so people over for the fight, and obviously it turned out the way that you wanted. And it was wonderful seeing you with your family inside the octagon after. Can you encapsulate what that moment meant for you?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I mean, to have my mom and dad there, both my brothers in my corner, meant the absolute world. My dad, my first amateur world title, I fought for a K1 world title in Slovakia when I was 18 years old. And that's for a South African, that was also unheard of, impossible. They said it won't happen. Even South Africa, the coaches in South Africa said that's not happening because we just don't compete at the level that these guys do. And I made it happen. I became a junior world champion. And I promised my dad that one day I will give him the UFC world title. I promised that him to be able to see how proud my dad is of me and all the support and love that my mom and dad has been giving me my whole life, my whole career, and they supported this. They wanted this just as bad as I did. And to be able to give them this belt meant the absolute world.
You getting a parade?
I don't know. I'll see. That'll be nice. I would like a parade. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.